I've been having trouble keeping the energy up. I looked at some other videos and I thought, wow, those ones are great because you're jazzing, man. You're grooving. You're fly. You fly. You got your get down going on. No, let's shut up. Doing that video about the Jose's, it made me think about my time in Spain and all the things I learned or things I should have learned anyway. I remember a time in Ottawa, I went with my friend Dom and some of his family. We were going down to Quebec, I think. He's Italian, so you know the whole family comes along. Sisters and cousins and maybe an aunt, a cool aunt. We'd already smoked quite a lot of pot, and I thought they were going to throw me out of the car onto the, into the brush. In other words, whack me, and just because they were Italian, I guess. I don't know. But that's kind of the introduction to the story. It calls to mind those films, the films where someone is in trouble and nobody believes them. I mean, that's kind of a scary thing, There's a great thing on Netflix now. I don't want to be too spoily about it, but where Winona Ryder is just losing her mind and saying some strange shit about her son that she's hearing through the wall, and she kind of communicates with him by turning on the Christmas lights and holding them. And everybody's kind of cuckoo. But spoiler alert, she is, but nobody believes her. If she's vindicated, that's fine. She's not taken to the loony bin. So let's go back to sunny Spain. Actually, in March, less sunny, a little chilly. Not like our winter, but it's not. Why is that germane to anything? Well, later on. I don't give a shit. I just cut out the stuff that isn't working. That's fine. It was kind of important for me to make Spanish friends, and I did, most of whom, as you know from my videos, I slept with. But not all of them. Not all of them. One of them I didn't sleep with, a friend of mine, and he was not Jose. That he was Fernando. So I wanted to go out that night. Fernando wanted to go out. Fernando wanted to go but first he wanted to go for a big walk. I checked it out in Google Maps. I was curious about how long we walked. It must have been about 40 minutes according to Google Maps. But he wanted to walk, and I like a long walk. Or it's just one of those things when someone says, "It's such a nice day, why don't we walk?" It's hard to say no to, because you look like such a wimp, or like you're unwell, or you're getting old. I have friends like that here, they walk so far. Anyway, so he wanted to walk, but he's twitchy, man. He was a twitchy guy, but you've all met people like that. They're just twitchy. They drink a lot of coffee, like me. Twitchy, and he talk really fast, He was always, entonces, vamos, pero mientras tanto voy a presentarte algunos clubes en el. He wanted to show me all these clubs on the way home, different clubs. Let's just show you some clubs. I'll show you some clubs. I'll show you some clubs. But what he was doing was really weird. He'd go into the club, and instead of sort of sitting down having a cocktail, he would just go into the club, talk to someone here, and go to the back of the club. And in other words, he was in and out really fast. He'd go in the club, he'd go. We're not even stopping for a drink or a pee break or something. We're not. We're just, must have been a half a dozen times at least that he's just going in the club. Going in the club. Going in the club, going in front of the club, going upstairs, going downstairs, occasionally talk to someone, but really quickly, just kind of like... Out, we're out. Let's go. Bueno, no, estoy muy feliz. Bueno, yo soy uno de estas personas que son felices. Tengo mucha energía. So we're in his house now, and it's like downtown. Madrid is so big that everything looks like downtown. So this was like downtown. Near like Puerto del Sol or Plaza Mayor, something like that, downtown. He called a friend, and so a friend was coming. The friend comes up, and he's kind of this stocky, really muscular guy. Kind of sexy in a way, but more, it was kind of intimidating, more than sexy in a way. He was a much calmer person, he was very laid back, and he lit up a joint. We're passing this around, and they're having this kind of conversation in hushed tones. Spanish pot was rough. It was crippling. It was terrifying. What I'm seeing or imagining is that this other guy, who we will call Juan, let's keep it simple. Here's what I think I heard. What about that? The heater, the space heater. Well, I don't know. Actually, now the heater, it's still cold at night in Madrid. I don't really. Who knows what else? Bits of furniture. I can't remember what all. Maybe he owned a watch. I don't know. In my mind, he was trying to find some payment. Something in lieu of payment is what it looked like to me in my adult stone brain. We can't trust this brain. Remember, I thought that some actually very nice people who happen to be of Italian descent were going to whack me for what I don't know. Man, to this day, I don't know. It seemed to me that Juan, the big, stocky, kind of rough trade looking guy, pointed at me. I swear to God. I swear to this day, he said, "El por la noche." That's really easy Spanish. El, him, por, for, la noche, the night. Him for the night, him for the night, him for the night. Difficult story, because I guess I could have imagined it. I don't know, but I thought he was suggesting if I could sleep with this little skinny wimp here, if I could have a piece of that, we won't worry about this debt. We're all lucky it ended as well as it did. Juan left right after that and said he was going to come back. I'm in the kitchen thinking I'm going to be raped. That's what I'm thinking, you know. I know rape isn't funny, but I'm just considering the circumstances. It's a bit of a stretch. He's gone, I'm in the kitchen, and I'm really seriously thinking about grabbing a knife. But I just said to Fernando, I gotta go. Well, he said, no, stick around. Juan's coming back. Stick around. What did we just stick around, please? I thought he was wanting to stick around because he wanted to make his payment. Why else he would be so insistent? Because I was like, I really want to go. I'm and I leave. I'm on the street, and he's kind of running after me. He says, Roberto, I remember this. Eres subnormal. And then in English, you are subnormal. I said, abnormal, and I'm running. But he could walk a lot faster, and I get in a cab. And he wants to go in the cab, and I'm pushing him out of the cab. It's in another cab, and he follows my cab. So, you tell the cab driver where you're going. And I said, take Calle Princesa up to this one. And then I changed my mind, because I knew I was being followed. I had to change my mind. Kitty? Yes, Kitty, want some attention? I'm noticing a pattern. If this video starts to get too long, she does that. I guess she wants attention, and that's fine. But I want to finish my freaking video, please. Anyway, I took a different. I'm trying to escape from Fernando, who's chasing me to take me back to be payment for the truck. I don't know. That's what I think I heard. That's what I think I saw. I ended up going to some American friends that we'd met, instead of going to my own home, because they were just a few blocks away. So I'm speaking to this woman. I'm sorry to bother you. I didn't tell you. Here's what happened. So we're going through, I think he's looking for drugs in this club, and then he calls his friend, but he doesn't have any money, so he said him for the night. I want him for the, so I was frightened. Okay, Bob, okay, you can stay here. Yeah, no, you can stay here tonight. You could stay here. They must have been through Wisconsin or something. Why don't you stay here for the night? That's okay, Bob. If you believe it, I believe it. The famous "if you believe it, I believe it," which means you're fucking nuts. I don't know, a few days later, I'm talking to my friends who you've met in other videos. Fernando. This is what he tried to pull. And that's another one when people don't believe you. Fernando, he wouldn't do that, but I'm sure you imagined. You imagined it. He said, El por la noche. What else could that mean? Miguel en el coche, hielo en la noche. And I said, well, where is Fernando? Well, he's away for a few days visiting his sister in the Islas Canarias. Oh, I see. He's not here for a few days because he's in the Islas Canarias. So, you know what? To this day, I don't know. I want to tell you, that Lieutenant Columbo swooped in and said, "Don't worry, I believe you. I believe you, and we'll get this sorted. Close encounters. I'll be alright." He's making a little hill with the shaving cream. "Daddy's gonna be okay." And everyone is naturally there. But he was right. He was right. We were invited. Yes, little sister. Wonderful. You did a poo, did you? Or a pee or something? Is that correct? She likes me to really acknowledge that. It's not my son in that coffin. That's not my son. He's in the lights. Here. In the lights. Cuckoo, cuckoo. That's not the shark that bit those girls. Why won't anyone believe me when I dream about Freddy? He's really there. But one person believes them. That's what usually happens. And that one person sticks with them. I went home on the plane. I remember telling my teacher, my Spanish teacher was on the plane with me, and I thought he was kind of like, "So you were payment for drugs? You're skinny little ass." This story ends, those stories in the movies, they end with, "Yeah, we believe you," and turns out, guess what? You're right. There are underpants gnomes. Mr. Hanky does exist. Right. And Snuffleupagus is a thing. Right. This one ends like, no one knows. Not even me. That one woman that I met in Ottawa, the Italian lady, I think she had it right when she said, "Don't smoke pot if you got a lot of demons in your head." But that's the moral of my other story. Well, it's the moral of this story too. I just want to tell that story. That's it. The end. Got the Copacabana. No, not with that face. What is that face? You think that's sexy? Don't do that face ever again on a video. It's not funny, and it's frightening for the children. They'll have nightmares now.